Welcome back to Cabral House Call. I'm Stephen Cabral, board-certified naturopathic doctor, and today on our Friday review, we're taking questions all across the board, everything from wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging. Our first question today is from Lucy. So Lucy asked, should I take branched-chain amino acids during your training? And I believe Lucy actually had a question on yesterday's show as well. Really good one about exercise too. Hopefully you tuned into that. So should you take BCAAs during your training? So branched-chain amino acids, isoleucine, leucine, and valine. So should these specific amino acids be taken during your training? Really good question. And typically they are taken by people who do not want to lose or degrade muscle through hard training workouts. So these specific people might be those on a calorie deficit diet where they're taking in less fuel than their body might need to rebuild. So those amino acids specifically will become free form and allowed to help rebuild the muscles. So those branched chain amino acids specifically great for muscle tissue growth or making sure they're actually just rebuilding so you don't lose muscle when working out. So should you take them? Well, if your goal is to build a good amount of muscle, then I would say it can be a great product for you as long as you're already doing like an all-in-one shake that covers your all amino acids, of course, not just those specific three, and it's getting your multivitamins, your minerals, because you just don't need those specific three. Those are nice, but they're an add-on. And then I would assume, okay, your goal is to build muscle or just not lose it. So then before branching amino acids, I would probably go to something like glutamine because L-glutamine is the most abundant amino acid used up in terms of stress or in times of stress, but also from hard workouts. And if you take before bed, it can really help with that anabolism. So I would certainly go there second. And then, third could be many different things. It could be taking creatine, but if you're trying to get lean, but still preserve your muscle, then you probably wouldn't want to do creatine because of potential water retention. So yes, branched chain amino acids could be that specific supplement for you. And when would you take them? I would take them specifically before my workout, especially if I was working out on an empty stomach, about a half hour or so before. I think that would be absolutely acceptable. It's one of those specialty type products and absolutely nothing wrong with you taking them specifically. There can be things like buildup, and the question is, do you even need them? So that would be my question to you is, if you absolutely do need them, take them. But if not, just my opinion would be, make sure that you get enough protein during the day. You're going to get all the branched chain amino acids you need. But again, I do not shy away from people deciding to use that if they do want to preserve that muscle while dieting. All right, great question. Let's move on. Dr. Ron asks, how do you choose your supplements for your practice? So really great question. We have a lot of health practitioners listening to the podcast, and thank you for listening. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over my criteria. So I suggest any functional medicine doctor or any health practitioner, whether might be a personal trainer, nutritionist, acupuncturist, chiropractor, that the products you choose should be a reflection of your philosophy. Now, my philosophy is this. I am not going to offer a single product in my practice that I would not use with my own family. And that includes my children, and that includes my wife, that includes my parents, whatever it might be. So you have to first make that philosophy, because if you wouldn't use it yourself and you wouldn't recommend it to your own parents, now of course, your own parents or your children aren't going to take every supplement in your practice, but you need to use that barometer. At least that's what I do. Maybe not everybody feels that way, but at least I do, because I want to feel good at the end of the day. All right, the second is that you should never choose a product based on essentially price or anything like that. My third one is that I don't choose it based on a supplement manufacturer. So if you come into Cabral Wellness Institute, or even just look at my online store as well, you will not see me recommend one product line across the board. I find that that's an issue when I see practitioners do that. And that's because they're relying on one supplement manufacturer, even the great ones out there, like the functional medicine-based ones like Thorne or Orthomolecular or Pure Encapsulations or Integrative Therapeutics, any one of those, all fantastic. But no one across the board has the very best of every supplement. So when you come into my practice, you'll basically see that I have absolutely no loyalty to any company. I simply use the best product in its category, meaning like I use the best betaine product, I use the best ashwagandha, I use the best vegan-based protein. So that's how I look at it. And I simply have kind of done the research and gone through it. Now for you, that might take some time, and that's okay. So simply go through those top manufacturers that I spoke about as well. All right, let me keep going down the line, because I guess maybe this should be its own show, but it is a really great question. And the reason is that I then look at, does the nutritional supplement itself have the exact dosage or more that was used in clinical research? And that's where a lot of people go wrong. So they look like, oh, this has a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Okay, well, that's fine, but I call them dustings. Like it has, 20 milligrams of coenzyme Q10, not even like ubiquinone or ubiquinol. So your body's not going to absorb that and really use it. So I would say, sure, it has some coenzyme Q10, which can help with energy and mitochondrial levels in the heart and the cardiovascular system and all that, but it doesn't actually line up with the dosage used in clinical studies. So that means they're just using it as a marketing ploy. So I simply say, okay, this is based on clinical data, and if I give it to the people that I care for in my practice, I know they're going to get results. And that's why I choose my supplements specifically like that, because I need to make sure that when I give someone a nutritional supplement, it's going to give them the intended results that I'm looking for. And that's so very important, Dr. Ron. So I hope you're doing that as well in your practice, is just ensuring that everything you use is kind of backed up by the clinical data. It's coming from a very good source, meaning typically a functional medicine manufacturer that typically only doctors or health practitioners can get. And the other thing is, if there are identical supplements, meaning very, very close, I personally choose the least expensive one for my wellness clients. And the reason I do that is because they're not going to most likely be using one, because one supplement is not a cure-all. You can't take one supplement and expect to fix everything. You have to go through a stress-reducing one, or one that balances the immune system and the hormones, one or many for digestive system, because you have basically 4 main parts of your digestive system. And then what if you have to remove, I do a lot of work with SIBO, and I do a lot of work with yeast, candida, bacterial overgrowth, and the microbiome in general. So there's just not one product for that. You can't just say, oh, here's a probiotic. It doesn't work like that. So what I say is I try to get the least expensive one, but the best possible product, and that allows my wellness clients to do more than one product at the best price. And that's just my philosophy. I sleep well at night using that philosophy, and it's the same one that I use for myself and my own family as well. So I always feel good about it, and of course, they get results. All right, I hope that answers that question. Maybe a little long-winded, but of course, just use it for your own private use, and then physicians or health practitioners out there, use it for your own practice as well. All right, Meredith is our last question. A great one. This builds off of our first podcast on longevity. Hopefully you listened to that one earlier today on the blue zones and the longest lived people and what they did to live typically past 100 years of life. So Meredith asks, what's your favorite way to relieve stress during the day? And if you were listening to that podcast, you see that number 9, I believe in the pillars hopefully it was number 9, was stress reduction or lower stress. So I have a pretty busy day, meaning like every hour of my day is booked. But that also means that I book my own time for that stress reduction. So I actually I try for 60 minutes every day during lunch, which is just my time. And that kind of breaks up my day. So I might work 4 or 5 hours before that, 4 or 5 hours after lunch. And of course, I have a fairly stressful job. I'm helping people who may have not gotten results for the last 10, 15, or 20 doctors that they've been to. And now they're looking to me to help them with those specific issues. And so, I'm very confident that I can help them. So that certainly helps. But the other part of it is this: I need to be able to control my own emotions, my own stress, be able to relax, and then provide everyone that I care for with the best service possible. So I need to take care of myself. And stress was one of those issues before that got me in a lot of trouble, made me really, really sick when I was younger. And it didn't allow me to recover, and that was kind of the bigger thing. So now every day at lunch, and most of you know I live in Boston, so Boston could be under a foot of snow in January, February, March, but every day I try to go for a walk. And that is, which I'm going to be talking about next week, I believe, or if not, at least the week after, on meditation and my types of practice. So you have to understand that I'm not going to talk about meditation today. You have to find your way to relieve stress. My way is just calming my breathing, relaxing, putting away my phone, putting away my emails, putting away all of my charts from all the people that I work with and lab reports, and just being able to breathe, just relax, just to enjoy the city around me, the environment around me, all of those specific things. So what I do is I just go for a walk, I breathe, I relax. Typically, if I brought my lunch, I will eat that somewhere outside of the office just to break up my day, get me into a new environment, a new space, and then I walk back from wherever I might have had lunch. So Really simple, really easy thing to do, right? Doesn't cost any money to go outside for a walk. And it allows me to kind of cool down, relax, and just switch modes. And again, this has been a work in progress, of course. But now I really feel that I'm able to, no matter what state I'm in, is to change that. Yes, I could be stressed at a specific moment, but I'm able to draw back away from that specific stressor, work on my breathing again, which I'm going to talk about more with you because it's so very helpful, and just relax and just calm my body down to relieve that stress. And so that's my way. But other people, they go for a workout. Again, I work out on my own as well, but it's not the same type of stress reliever. Some people do yoga. Some people meditate. Some people do Tai Chi, Qigong. Some people take a 20, 30-minute nap, power nap, mid-afternoon. Some people take their dog for a walk, which is great. So you just need to do what works for you. And again, it might only be 10 minutes or 20 minutes. I just block that out as my lunchtime, and it really rejuvenates me and gets me set in the right mindset to start my second half of the day. So thank you, Meredith, for that question. And I do hope you enjoyed today's house call. I'll be back real soon answering more of your questions. As a thank you for tuning in today, I wanted to share with you the number one system my private clients in Boston and now all over the United States are using to lose weight, decrease bloating, improve digestion, eliminate skin issues, and increase their energy all day long. It's called the Dr. Cabral Detox, and without going into all the details right now, simply go to drcabraldetox.com and you can find out how my proven, simple 7-day system can help you lose weight and feel great. There's no hype, there's no marketing, and best of all, it's guaranteed or your money back. And as a thank you for being a listener of the Cabral Concept, I'd like to offer you $10 off your next 7, 14, or 21-day Dr. Cabral Detox purchase in the month of March. Simply enter the savings code MARCH10, all in lowercase, one word, when checking out. Thank you again for tuning in, and I look forward to hearing your success story soon.